All right, tonight was an absolutely insane night, and it's something really need to understand here. For the last 8 years plus, Donald Trump has been pushing violence in every way, shape, or form. Someone heckles him in a crowd, he tells him to beat the shit out of him. He says that is his gig. At the same time, we have the diehard MAGA and Republicans. We have even the president of the Heritage Foundation talking about how bloodshed and civil war, and there will be blood, if the Democrats choose it, and all this other crap. Trump is the most hateful, angry, violent, threatening person that ever was in the political sphere in this country. That's just something to understand. Now, the shooter today was Thomas Matthew Crooks, a 20-year-old that shot 5 or 6 times, apparently unaliving one of Trump's people in the crowd and injuring others. I've heard one person, I've heard 2 people, whatever. The fact of the matter is, I feel sorry for innocent bystanders. I feel sorry for people who don't engage in threatening all Democrats with pew-pew violence and threatening this country with civil war unless your guy is elected. That is what's going on. All the hatred, all the anger doesn't come from the left at all. Joe Biden took the stage today. He called Donald Trump himself to make sure he was all right. He took the stage today and said, I don't care who it was, this is wrong, this should not happen in today's political climate anywhere, anyhow, condemning it. Spoke out, protecting Donald Trump, and trying to call for people to calm the hell down. The person who pulled the trigger is a registered Republican. Registered Republican, 20-year-old, white male. There are reports about someone with Chinese ties and all this other stuff. There's all sorts of stuff going around. What we know so far is Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20-year-old registered Republican, shot from 148 yards away from a rooftop that was not being watched properly. A Republican did this, ladies and gentlemen, not Joe Biden, not a Democrat, not anyone else. And I have heard nothing but lives on this app and MAGA people talking about Democrats are the violent ones, and Democrats this, and Democrats did this to them. Joe Biden did this, just like he tried to assassinate him during the FBI raid. Standard operating procedure of any raid on anything in any law enforcement thing is the clause they have the right to use deadly force if it's absolutely necessary. Donald J. Trump was not in Mar-a-Lago when that raid went down. It was done that way on purpose to be courteous to him and his family. It was planned. So take the logic in Joe trying to unalive the competition and shove it right up your little orange butts. All right? A Republican did this today. Republican, not a Democrat. Now what you need to ask is why. And you need to wait for the truth to come out. Stop blaming everyone else. If this violent rhetoric and every single time Donald Trump opens his mouth, he's threatening somebody with violence, and his followers are threatening a civil war, even the president of a huge political group, which, by the way, is a 501c3 and isn't allowed to be involved in politics, actually threatened bloodshed. Am I sorry innocent people were hurt, were unalived, whatever it ends up being? Yes. But if you're going to threaten a civil war, and you're going to threaten Democrats because they're Democrats or because they vote for someone other than someone you vote for. You are the reason this happened. You. Not the Democrats, not Joe Biden. You. And if you're going to, in one side of your mouth, threaten violence against people, and on the other side of your mouth, be so surprised when the violence comes towards you, you did this yourself. Now, I'm sorry it happened. It shouldn't happen in politics. It shouldn't happen, period. But if there wasn't so much anger and hatred and violence threatened every freaking day because of this man who did it himself, my sympathy ends there. Because he's the one who stirred the pot. Doesn't mean he deserves getting pewed. When was the last Democrat that came out and threatened a civil war, threatened to unalive? Ask Paul Pelosi what he thinks. And then you got Don Jr. that's going to for sure launch some sort of fundraiser right next to his dad's fundraiser. And the MAGA's going to go nuts. And now they're saying he just won the election. Don Jr. posted his Halloween costume choice of a pair of tighty whities with a hammer and said he's dressing as Paul Pelosi, who got viciously attacked in his own home by a MAGA Republican. And the president's son posted that. And now they're going to ask for sympathy? No. You can't put this out there, send your people to hurt other people, then get pissed off when, newsflash, one of your own gets pissed off enough about what you're doing that they take action themselves. Not Joe Biden, not the FBI, not Antifa, not at all the other bullshit you're going to throw at this. One of your own. Get that through your heads. And if you want violence to stop, don't start it. But if you're going to threaten people with violence every day, they're going to be waiting for you. They're going to be ready for you. But even the most level-headed of border Republicans are going to get pissed off about it. So let's see what Thomas Matthew Crooks wrote in his social media or manifesto or whatever the hell comes up. What this Republican was thinking when he took it on himself to try and do this. Not a Democrat, a Republican. Now, we still don't know all the facts. We still don't know how many people were hurt or unalived. We still don't know yet. It's all coming out. But if your reaction is more anger and more violence, look in the mirror, because that's who started this shit. You want to be America first? Stop the threats. You're not the only ones with guns. One side of the aisle doesn't want to start that fight, doesn't want to defend itself against some psycho who's got to stick up his ass because the person he voted for said so. This psycho is one of your own. It's one of yours, not ours. Stay diligent, stay educated, and be kind. We are all in this together. And it doesn't matter how much you want to blame anybody else. The violence in today's politics is 100% on the Republican side of the aisle and 100% stirred up by Donald J. Trump and his supporters, including his own freaking son. You want sympathy? It's between shit and syphilis in the dictionary. God bless America and the real Americans that believe in democracy.